Welcome to the World Builder's Anvil, episode 134. And
Stop. Episode 134. Even numbers are mine.
Yeah, Enter the Bard, yeah.
No. Enter the Wine Steward.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot.
Welcome to the World Builder's Anvil, episode 134. Enter the Wine Steward. Jeff.
Yes.
Stop whining.
Don't know where to start building your fantasy world? Do you need more? Does it make sense? Forget any worries and become a crafter of imagination. This is the place that will help prime your mind. Now, it's time to heat up the forge, break out the mithril ingots and hammer. Welcome to the World Builder's Anvil. I'm your host, Jeffrey W. Ingram. Let's sup from the mug of Java and build. Welcome back. As always, I'm your host, Jeffrey W. Ingram, and back from his legal issues with the town of Windsor, the town of Connecticut.
The town of Connecticut? and the state of Windsor?
Yes.
Yes. The continually returning co-host. I am Michael Miller. I had to laugh because I listened to the episode, and Jeff assured me off the air that, the reason I couldn't come last week is because I couldn't physically get to your house.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
Well, like I said, there was troubles with the town.
And Jeff called me and said, don't come today. He said, you won't be able to get to my house, so we'll just record next week. Don't worry, I will tell the show.
I did.
It
was troubles with the town. That's what it was.
You said all kinds of horrible things about me. Again, I'm not surprised. But I thought for sure you would have said something nice that I wasn't there.
I didn't lie.
Not the kid. You did lie. You straight lied.
There were troubles with the town. And the trouble was the town was repaving the road. I just didn't have time for all the details.
Yeah. Thanks. It's nice to know you always have my back.
Glad you're back out again?
Yes. Yeah, it's good to be free. So Jeff, on a couple of occasions, I think on Twitter and something else, called this Enter the Bard. So we just want to clarify that was a mistake.
And there will probably be a Bard cameo.
There'll be Bard, and we'll probably just start making running Bard gags. But it is Enter the Wine Steward, which is the character I was playing. This is part 2. Part 1 was episode 127. Mm-hmm. So this is a world testing episode, and it is a continued storyline. For those of you that don't remember, for those of you that missed the first episode, I am playing a wine steward. We are using the Descriptors gaming system, and our lead character, Emil, has had wine stolen, and now one of his friends was beat up, and now somebody has vanished. And those are basically the problems that he is juggling right this second. He has to go talk to one of his higher-ups that things have been stolen. That's the
Chief Steward.
The Chief Steward.
Your friend Yoha.
Who Emil and Yoha don't get along. So that's a real quick basic recap.
Yeah, and if you want more, we do recommend go right now to episode 127.
Yeah. Okay. So do you want to just jump right into it?
Let's just jump right into it. Okay. So where we picked up exactly... we'll be picking up exactly where we left off last time, which is Michael was going looking for Yoha, ended up going out into the courtyard from the basement because he knew Yoha might be out there, so he searched there first instead of the house, which would have made more sense. Probably because I just said that was happening. He didn't really choose that. And as he was doing it, one of the characters he had met with earlier, Fritz, comes in, who lets him know that his buddy Nortz is missing. Bum, bum, bum.
And again, I want to stress that while we're playing a game here, the purpose of this for the world builder is that we are testing Jeff's World Guard duel, and he is testing both certain characters and location.
Certain characters and location.
Okay.
We actually haven't even gotten to any of the characters I'm testing.
Well, that's fine. I want the listeners, to know exactly what we're doing. We're not just role playing for fun.
Well, I've been testing one of the characters. You haven't really interacted too much with them yet.
That's fine. But my point is for them to not just listen to a story being told, but to get that there's a mechanical thing going on.
There's a reason why we're doing it. I want to see the kinds of questions Mike asks back when I describe things like
Michael.
I'm talking about the Avatar Mike. He emails me after the show.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for questions, feedback, like, am I giving him enough to allow him to understand where the transitions are, how the town flows specifically? Because the second book will largely be set in this castle and this town. Now, the characters might or might not be the same. You'll have to wait to the June after next to find that out.
Spoiler alert. There's at least one character that you will definitely read in the book.
I think he might be in book 1 too.
Is he?
Oh,
yeah. A little bit.
A little
cameo.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now let's go.
Okay. So you've entered the courtyard. Fritz has come up to you and let you know Nortz is missing, and probably something about you smelling funny.
And he went, and I seem to remember he asked me if Nortz came with me.
If Nortz came with you, is really where you left off.
Because he said he disappeared.
I guess we didn't know he was gone.
Right, we didn't know until that moment. No, I haven't seen him. I came back alone.
Well, he never came back with the herbs.
I don't know what to tell you. I didn't see him after I left you guys. I went to the other bars to get wine to replace what was stolen. But I have to go talk to Yoha. I have to tell him that there's been a I was going to say thievery. There's been a burglary. What would be the appropriate word?
Theft.
A theft. There's been a theft. Okay.
Fourth degree. Fourth degree is BS. Now, Fritz is looking at you sort of deeply, like he's taking in your character, which he does almost every time he talks to you, even though it's usually not relevant, as is this time. Well, maybe I should go check with the herbalist first.
Why don't you do that once I'm done figuring out what's going on here? If you'd like my help.
Well, we'll see. I just figured that he would have got swept up into some castle business before he could take care of this. I'll be back.
Why would he think that he would have gotten swept up in castle business? This is me thinking aloud.
If you remember correctly, Fritz is the guy who thinks it's town versus castle, and
well, right, but Nortz is the one missing, not Fritz.
No, Fritz is the guy who thinks
I know. And
that it's castle versus town. Ergo, whenever there's something that's not going the way he expects, it's the castle's fault, even if it's not necessarily rational.
Oh, so he is thinking that maybe Nortz got swept up in castle.
Like you brought him to help deal with the wine situation instead of getting the herbs. Because he's not come back
which
yet.
I wouldn't have done at all.
And he probably knows that deep down in the subconscious.
So for the in the subconscious, nice reference. So for the listeners, what I just did and what Jeff just did, I didn't quite catch that Jeff was doing it, but I'm just going to point it out. Is I'm going to make sure that when I am thinking in character, like I'm thinking what the character's thinking, I'm going to do it verbally so that they know where my mindset is.
And maybe we just announce that just so because it transitioned because it took me a second. I didn't realize that you were doing that until you started.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Okay.
So
this is a learning experience for us too.
To Yoha.
So as you go looking around, you don't see
or the captain of the guard if I see him first.
You do not see Hamilton around at all. You've been looking for him, but he's not often around. Very popular in town. So you do happen to see Thomas, who is the second of the
second in command.
Not technically, the garrison isn't that big, but he makes most of the decisions because Hamilton's always busy. Yeah.
What would you say his name is?
Thomas.
Okay. Thomas.
Yes, sir.
Emil. He knows. He would know my name, right?
He's a young buck. He's a young, strapping, good-looking buck. So,
is Hamilton around?
Hamilton's in town right now. He is busy.
There's been a break-in. Something's been stolen from the castle.
From the castle?
Yes.
Okay.
And also from town. Yeah. So it makes me think it's related. The good wine that I keep locked up in the wine cellar, locked in a special area in the wine cellar, that I only pull out when the Duke comes, and the Duke is coming, has been stolen.
The Duke's coming?
According to Yoha.
Yeah.
Also, I went into town where I also keep a store of wine with a local.
When's the Duke coming?
Michael doesn't remember if it's tonight or tomorrow. It's tonight. Tonight. I'm realizing that you are now realizing that you have things that you have to take care of for this.
Yes, and but obviously a theft in the castle is very important too.
Right.
We should try and get that cleared up. I don't think we'll be able to help with the thing in town. That's the town.
Well, the only reason I mention it is because in both cases it was wine paid for already. That's the Duke's wine.
So it was the Duke's wine.
It's the Duke's wine. So that's why it's noteworthy. I need to find Yoha. I understand that you've got your own responsibilities to take care of, but the guard need to be aware that someone stole from the Duke.
Well,
I understand.
Gotta find Hamilton. Where is he? I don't know, but
take care of your preparations. Be aware of it.
Don't be worried. Don't be concerned. I'm going to send George and Benedict out. I'm going to send them out into town to try and figure out if they can find anything. It's not their expertise, but whatever. I would suggest you focus on getting wine.
I am. But I need to find Yoha first.
Yoha, he did. I think I saw him, 10 minutes ago. He was out here. I think he might be back in the kitchens.
Okay.
He was here. There's a new cook.
Okay, to the kitchen.
Okay, so you go in the kitchen and there's a woman there. I don't know, probably in her late 30s, early 40s. It's always kind of hard to tell with peasants.
Is she a comely woman? I am single after all.
She's not unattractive, and she appears to be alone.
Would I consider marrying another peasant? I realize that that's not what I'd be shooting for.
It's not necessarily what you'd be shooting for.
But I'm keeping my
cook is in charge of the kitchen, and so that would be acceptable if she was free. It would be considered slightly below you, but it's a possibility.
Is she single?
You don't know. You've never met her. She's new.
She's new. Yeah. Oh, okay. So this is the first person I see, or the only person I see?
She's standing there, and she's talking to Yoha, who seems to be explaining the kitchen. She's brought in a new spinner, which is a little lizard creature that's roughly, about 24 inches long, that they used to put the to move the spit over the fire. They're a trained critter, so they just kind of move into a cage and it will keep animals moving. So.
Gotcha. Okay. For half a second, I thought it was something to be eaten. You're talking. This is a
service animal.
Service animal. Yeah, that's a good word for it. Service animal. Get to work.
They'll use those or often dogs.
Once there is a break in conversation, pardon me, Yoha, may I please speak with you privately?
Oh, yes. Of course. This is Villasandra first. I should introduce you. She's married, so you'll have no luck there.
Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Villasandra.
She's been sent in advance of the party coming this evening. I assure you've taken care of the wine by now.
Yes and no. That's what I need to speak to you about.
And so he sort of puts his arm around you and shuffles you off out of the room because he has no time to wait for you, even though you wouldn't be holding him back.
Exactly. Yoha, I went to pull out the good wine that we have stored here in the castle. And since there were more guests coming, I also went into town to get my...
Good plan.
I went to get the stores that I keep in town.
At least you're good at that part of your job.
The stores that are kept in town are kept under lock and key in a safe place that I trust with a man who I trust very much. This morning...
Yes, the
Ravens.
Yeah. Everyone knows that.
When I was in the basement... Of course, everyone knows where your stuff is locked up. Everyone. When I went there this morning, Ravens was locked in the basement, injured, unconscious, and the wine was stolen. Nothing else was stolen, just the wine. When I then purchased some more wine in town, and I came back to the castle to check on the wine that I have here. It's also been stolen. It's the only...
The wine in the castle.
Under lock and key. I'm the only one with the key to that, and it's only the good wine. The house wine is still there. I don't have really good wine to serve the Duke today. I have wine to serve, but it's
very suspicious. Now, I'm going to ask you a silly question.
Please.
Have you been able to locate Hamilton?
No. But I found Thomas, and he sent Benedict and George into town.
These good old Thomas is here. Oh, Benedict? I don't trust him.
You don't trust him? I'm a little concerned about serving the wine that I have here. I'm a little concerned about the wine that I've purchased.
Is it a quality issue?
It's both a quality issue and also if somebody directly stole the good wine, suspiciously just before the Duke comes into town, it forces me to serve specific wine, which concerns me. I'm going to test the wine as best I can.
Obviously.
But this is so suspect. I'm concerned. I'm a little worried. I don't feel that if someone was able to break into where I kept the good wine here in the castle, what's to say they didn't taint the other wine?
No, that is a very fair thing. I do keep a couple of the bottles you've supplied for the Duke in his chambers. Hold on. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a key ring, pulls off one of the rings and holds it out and hands it to you. He is like, it is across from the Duke's bed.
Can you or a guard come with me? I don't want to be the only one to discover if it has also been taken.
Yes, if you need help looking to see if it's been taken, I could help you do that.
I just don't. I want no potential gaze of impropriety. So we go to the store.
Yeah, so you follow him up to the third floor.
I hand the key back to him.
Yeah, you don't have to. He takes it as soon as you need him to help you. He puts it back under his ring very diligently, just brings it back up.
So for the listeners and for the GM and the author, right now I'm thinking he's setting me up. Now, I as a player realize that that's probably completely inappropriate, but the character is thinking that he is setting him up because he's like the only guy that doesn't like him because he's a likable guy, and he might have access to that other spot, and now he's sending me to get other wine that like I am putting a little bit of paranoia in this character. I don't know.
I think that's fair for your early part of the day. You know, I mean, it's like everything you're doing with wine for the Duke, right as the Duke happens to be coming, is magically gone.
Right. But I want you to realize that I'm not just, hey, I'm good at my job and I'm a little concerned because this is suspicious. The character is actually has a very low level of paranoia, and I'm going to play that.
Okay.
It's just a trait that I'm choosing to put on the character.
But you may regain your resourcefulness in the way that you approach that, so that is now refreshed.
Okay, so as a quick system note, but I did claim in the prior session that I was going to be fishing. So you're granting me that one as kind of a gift. I've given you a
fish here because, well, you were resourceful in the way that you got him to do this.
So we're getting resourceful.
You're still not intelligent anymore, but
I'm still intelligent. I just can't force a success because of it.
Yeah. Okay.
So I still have resourceful, likable, and organized. And intelligent is used. And I am going to fish for intelligent if I go to, like I had said in the prior session, I will try to use those specific words and send. I think I have to as part of that. So I'll use that to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So you go up to the Duke's.
One other quick note to the listener. Go check out Matthew Bannock on his Facebook page and look up the system that we're using, which is called Descriptors.
Yep. And I'll put a link to it in here as well, too. I believe if you actually just search for Descriptors, it's been talked about in a few episodes, but there will be several links out to it.
Okay. So we're going to the Duke's, a secret stash that I was unaware of, which also makes me suspicious.
But this probably does not make you suspicious because he's a very competent person at his job. And when the Duke wants something in the bedchamber, he's going to have something.
Would I have been aware of this before?
You would have probably been aware
of this. Then I'm not suspicious of it. Or am I?
You go up together and...
Another quick side note. The player, not the character, thinks Villasandra is evil because her name sounds it. Because she's new and she has arrived the day that things have gone missing.
Yes. Dun, dun, dun. As you arrive up into the Duke's bedchamber...
Welcome to the Duke's bedchamber.
Have I ever gingerly moves to the bed?
Have I ever been in this room?
Yeah. Not when the Duke has been here, but
of course not.
If Yoha, you are number 2 because there are only 2 stewards in this small castle.
Really?
Oh yes,
we're it.
Yes.
Okay. I thought there was a few more people.
There are more staff, but there are only 2 stewards.
So
Chief
Steward, or do you just call him the Steward? Or is he Chief Steward?
He's technically the Chief Steward, but people would usually just
call him the Steward because he's the only one.
Yeah.
And then I'm just the wine steward.
Yeah.
Got it.
And so
of the other staff, I am kind of
you are number 2.
Up.
I mean, if you've ever seen Downton Abbey, you're like an assistant butler, sort of in English times, except there's no real
Haven't
butlers.
seen it. Your reference is invalid.
Okay.
So the Duke's bedchambers.
So you've now gone to bed with, gone to the bedchambers with Yoha.
Yoha has taken me to the bedchambers.
And he gingerly puts his hand into his jacket and pulls out a key ring and walks up to this hardened box that's...
he opens it up. There's just a whole bunch of whips and chains. Oh, wrong compartment.
Whoops.
Wrong box.
You have to turn the lock the other way.
Get to the bottom one.
And opens up this area where there's a place to store a couple bottles of wine.
Mm-hmm.
2 bottles are sitting in there, and he pulls them out and holds them in his hands like this.
Looking to see.
And his face goes flush.
Are they empty?
They are empty. But the bottles remain there. And this, in your knowledge of Yoha, would be about as likely to happen as hell freezing over in contexts where hell's a very hot place.
Intelligently, I am not saying anything. I'm quite purposefully holding my tongue.
Yes, because you could take a shot.
There are things that I could say right here, but 1, this is serious.
Yeah.
2, I know he's not a big fan of mine, and I want to be part of the solution, not just the bearer of the problem.
And usually when it comes to things like this, he won't take anything in the house being wrong, even to the detriment of someone he dislikes, because to him, he's responsible for all of it. And he takes that.
So he's really good at his job.
He's very good at his job. It just no one likes to work with him.
Okay, so can I get my intelligence back?
You may have your intelligence back.
Awesome.
And he retains his unlikable.
Is he unlikable? Is that, or is that just how we play him?
He's unlikable.
Yeah.
He's more concerned about the job than he is about people.
People and their. I know someone like this, and he is also unlikable.
Yeah. The higher ups might like him because he's effective at making sure the house is run properly, but that's about it. Now, he's okay. I will find Hamilton. If it's the last thing I do, you need to get wine for the Duke. There is a bottle. It's not good enough for the Duke. No, we can't do
that. I have purchased the best wine from town.
I have my own personal, but I just don't think it's of the quality that the Duke would deserve.
What I have purchased, it's the best the town has, and it's still not quite good enough. The only thing that I could do is go back to town in the hopes that a caravan is arriving today. I didn't think to ask of that, but...
You deal with that. I will deal with this house. If it is in this house, the house will be searched to make sure that it's not a staff member who is doing this.
How could... I was about to ask a question, but it may seem a stupid question to ask, so I'm going to ask the GM if this is a dumb question, since my character is intelligent to ask. I was going to say, how could somebody have gotten into all 3 of these locations? But I picked the lock at Ravens, which led me to thinking the locks at this tech level are not crazy complicated. A good thief could pick these locks.
A good thief could pick these locks.
Okay, so I'm not even going to ask that question. Because
like I said, your locks are more superior to the ones that was at the fishy place.
Yeah,
but they're still they're skeleton key locks.
They're pickable. The thing to note here, and even in modern times for the listener, is that locks are for honest people.
Yes.
If somebody is intending to steal something, whether there's a lock there doesn't matter. Someone that's intending to steal something knows there will be a lock there.
Yeah.
Locks keep out the people who aren't intent on stealing something, but might steal something if the opportunity arises. So if there's a lock there, they won't do anything about it. But
As a scout, I can tell you there are very many quick ways through locks without using anything serious.
You talking about like breaking them? Or,
you can break locks pretty easily. You just drill through most locks. Go. I mean, most modern deadbolts are pretty good against that. But
see, when
you can kick them, you can. There's lots of ways past them.
I haven't purchased a house yet, but when I do, I intend to have a couple of like the type of lock that you can't bypass from the other side of the door. I'm talking like a physical blockage. One of my friends actually, and this was actually getting back to paranoia. No, seriously.
Okay.
Like he needs
actual.
Like actual mental illness, paranoia. I went to his house one day and I knocked on the door and I hear this sound. I'm hey, and I'm calling to him and he's like, yeah, hang on. So I hear. Now he spoke to me, so I know it's him making a noise, but there's this weird repetitive noise that I'm hearing from the other side of the door, and I'm listening. Now, he is, like me, also a licensed electrician, and I'm hearing this noise, and I was with somebody else, so I didn't want to call attention to what it sounded like to me and what might be going on the other side of the door. So we proceed to go. He lets us inside, and we hang out for a little while, and then we leave, but when I turned around, once we were in the room, and I turned around and I looked down at the door, I see at about 6 inches off the floor a threaded, rigid, like 3/4 inch coupling strapped to the wall with a 6-inch steel, rigid piece of threaded pipe. You're not breaking that.
No.
So he had threaded that into the coupling. He needed to unthread it so the door physically could be open. Like that's what he was using to put a barrier on the door. And I was like, wow, what a great idea for security, because no one's getting through that door without seriously breaking something. And the point is, if they do break in, you're gonna hear it. Yep. Exactly. So
I won't go into that and increase paranoia.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So it does seem, it wouldn't be shocking if a thief could get past either one of these locks.
Okay, so I won't ask that question.
But you know where he's going to start. He will have the entire castle.
Okay. I don't have anything to hide personally in my belongings, right?
No.
I don't know if you had put a creepy tick in my character that I was unaware of.
Not that you would have put there.
Okay. Should I go through my... Ooh.
I'm just saying.
Tell you what. I'm going to use my intelligence right now. Everything that you just said, I'm now taking as thoughts for the character.
Okay.
And the first thing I'm going to do before going back into town is go through my area to make sure there isn't anything suspicious that may have been planted. That's my intelligence and my paranoia talking. Okay.
All right.
So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to return to my little room, I guess, just a room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's a bed and
little desk thing. I remember that.
Yeah. Okay. It's actually in the wine cellar for those of you who are new to this.
So I'm going to take a quick inventory of everything first. Just look around to see if there's any type of clue or anything. Anything on the ground, just anything that looks out of place. And I don't have to use them.
No, you don't.
I can use them to force a success. I should still be able to succeed without them.
Yes.
Okay. And keep in mind that for the sake of the podcast, I am keeping things more abbreviated. Yeah. If you'd like, I'll go into lengthy description of exactly what I'm doing.
Okay. I think the brief is probably better.
Okay. So take a quick inventory of wine that's left. Take a quick smell of the wine. Does anything smell off? Check the shelving. And once all of those things have been done, then I'll check my area.
Okay, you randomly go up to a barrel. Not the first one you come up to, but you just kind of randomly pick one out. And you pour, as soon as you start pouring, you smell vinegar.
So it's gone bad. Check another cast.
Vinegar.
Keep going. I mean, repeat this process.
Vinegar.
I assume it's vinegar all going
Every
across
cast
the board.
you check is all vinegar.
Okay.
And you know they took up a cast earlier today, and there's been no complaints, so that had to be good.
Not necessarily. I haven't been around. I might not have gotten the complaint.
Oh, you're pretty sure you would have.
Fair enough.
You've come back.
Fair enough. All right, we'll check my area. Jeff may not know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway, because I don't remember. What can you do that will turn wine to vinegar that quickly? Obviously, something's been done to it, but I assume that my character would have the knowledge to know the answer to that question.
There are certain types of chemicals that could cause spoilage because it's oxygen getting to it. But for it to turn, I mean, it's like split vinegar at this point.
Yeah, I mean
that takes time.
Yeah, that's magic. Magic will do this. Well, time. I mean, time magic would do this.
Time magic would do it. There are things that could do it, but they all take time. And for the fact that, and they're of different ages, you stagger the wine so the oldest wine gets used first because this is house wine. It's not meant to be aged. Mm-hmm. It's meant to be very strong and robust. Most of it, unless it's like a bad year, which does happen occasionally that a cask will go bad. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The likelihood accidentally every cask
I get
from different years can go bad equally is wrong.
This is wrong.
And yes.
How many casts do I have, roughly?
You have probably about 30 casts.
Check every one.
Every one is vinegar.
Okay. Anything weird in my area? Anything missing? Anything there?
Nothing missing.
Anything there that shouldn't be? Even something that would be... Because now my paranoia is
high. Okay. You start finding along the cracks of the wall, like a lot of food crumbs, which is unusual, the fact that there would be food crumbs, but it's like corn, dried cheese, pieces of bread, just sort of like...
How small are these? Are these really...
Like crumbs. Like, you can see them because you're being paranoid. You're kind of down on your hands and knees going through, looking on underneath the desk and stuff, and you see the dagger saying, "I'm going to kill the Duke." But there, no, you don't.
Yeah. My name is Emil. I plan to kill the Duke today. Mwahaha.
And but there is like
wait, there's a lot of muhahas on this sheet. This guy really got into it.
He's crazy. But essentially, like the whole line of the wall, there's just like this strip of looks like stuff that would really just attract rodents.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Is like, why would? And I can't imagine that there aren't rodents in the castle.
There are rodents.
So,
and the fact that there's so much,
like those crumbs would get eaten,
would be eaten relatively quickly.
How bright can I make this room?
Not very. I mean, it would take time. You have to bring lots of torches, but still, it's torchlight. You know, you have your lantern, which is probably the best source of light because it's at least consistent.
All right. I'm doing my best to listen, and I'm going to just bring the torch all around the room. I'm looking for the bending of light, i.e. the potential whatever weirdness that I saw in the basement.
Okay.
At Ravens for the listener. There are a few times where you start going and it seems to curve, but then... Do I hear anything?
You don't hear anything, and as you get closer, it goes away, so maybe you're a bit on nerve.
Well, of course it's going to go away.
Yeah, exactly.
So try to chase it for a moment.
Into the wall.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, try to follow where the motion goes, because if there's someone there...
It happens very inconsistently, and as soon as you take like 3 more steps, it's gone.
So, and I'm not hearing anything.
And you're not hearing anything.
So
you think it's nerves.
Me. Yeah, it's probably me. Okay.
Probably.
They only come at night, mostly. Or they mostly come at night. They mostly come at night, mostly. So I'm going to go find Yoha again, and then I need to go into town.
Okay. So... Yoha is currently gathering all of the staff into the hall right at the main door of the castle, or at the keep part of the castle. And right now the guards are in there, and there are, you're assuming that they're going to sort of, there's only about 10 guards here, so there's 8 in here right now. Thomas is one of them, and literally they're gathering up all of the servants into this hall, and he's going to this top-down search, though.
Okay. Are they giving them a brief of what's occurring?
Oh, no. No, it's more like, you're going to stand here, the castle's going to be searched.
Okay. All right, well then, Yoha, a moment.
Yes. And he sort of grabs you on the back, at the small of the back, and takes you back towards the Duke's.
Are you making Yoha be attracted to me?
No.
Okay. Okay. I just researched my area and the wine cellar. I checked every cask. They're all vinegar. They're different ages. They're from different places. Someone's doing this. Something happened.
One note, too, just as a reminder to Michael.
Okay.
He bought some of this wine today, and it was fine when you tasted it today.
He did. You did. I did.
Because remember, when
some
you
of
used
it's
your
mine.
intelligence.
Some of it's mine.
When not just that.
I'm sorry. Some of it is the stuff that I bought in
that
town.
you just brought in.
Okay. I didn't realize that stuff had already made it down. Okay. I thought that was still like upstairs or whatever.
Yeah, there's laborers.
Fine. Some of this wine is the wine I spoke about earlier. I bought it today. I've got wine that's, how old would the oldest cask be? A couple months old, a couple years old? I mean.
Yeah, probably at the most.
So, tell them, I've got casks from this time, I've got casks from this time. All of it is vinegar.
I would not question your competency in this. And the fact it could all possibly be bad at once is inconceivable.
And someone's been in my room.
People are in there all the time.
So there's something weird. Something's going on.
Go get wine. And don't hit the table and get some wine.
All right. Of course. So I'm being put in my place, and I'm acknowledging that I'm being put in my place. So I'm leaving.
Don't bring the wine back here yet.
Of course.
So come back here for a second. Before you go to get wine, we have to figure out where you're going to go, and I can send someone to get you.
Okay.
When the Duke arrives, so we have some wine that's not spoiled.
Okay. So where? Does Jeff need to pick a landmark? Or make one up?
Yoha's thinking.
That means Jeff's thinking. Are you trying to create a landmark? Or are you trying to remember one?
I don't know. The thing is that he's stuck between the fishy place, which is the place you normally do it, but now he's worried about that.
Well, does he say any of that aloud?
No.
Okay.
He would not share that with you.
Well, no, because I was going to
You would probably figure he's thinking that, but...
I'm just going to be quiet. Because at this point, I'm subservient.
Go to Mr. Murple's shop and see if he's there. He's, what...
Jeff to Michael, what's Mr. Murple?
He's the local spellcaster.
Okay.
He is renowned for his utter boringness. In a way, personality comes across kind of like Yoha, but with less personality. So he's not even dislikable. He's just boring.
Just boring. Okay.
And but he does a lot with like the local farmers and stuff, where he goes out and does stuff. He sells items, but typically only opens at shop if there are actually people of money in town. But he's out of a shop right on that main street right there. But it might be good to have someone who has magic, but normally his magic is about great manure.
Mm-hmm.
So,
hey, great manure.
That's right.
Good farmers love great manure.
It's very popular with the farming.
Okay, so my first thing will be if there's a receiving area for caravans, or if somebody would know if I don't know how they would schedule things like that, or if there's anything that comes regularly. I want to find out if anything's coming in today.
Okay.
If there's any way to get wine that hasn't been in town.
Well, there is a gate, so they might be the gate guards for the town, not for the castle. Would probably be the most familiar with if they would have an idea of who's coming in. So you head out to the gate, and at the gate, they're on sort of...
And I assume that I don't see Hamilton along the way.
No.
And he wasn't in the briefing.
You did hear some rumors as you were walking out that he was on the other side of town, taking care of some business. But, I mean, there are rumors of Hamilton, but like I said...
Has anyone ever seen him?
You've never met
I've
Hamilton?
never met him.
No.
This is Captain the Guard. I've never met him. captain of the guard of the castle I live in
for your entire life. I mean, he's only been around for a couple of years.
Is it possible that he could be like a Kaiser Soze sort of thing? like he doesn't actually exist?
I'm not sure yet.
Like he could be somebody else. No one really knows. Ooh, Hamilton, he's tough. Captain of the guard. Ooh, you don't want to mess with him. You ever seen him in a fight? Oh, no. You? No. Ever met him?
I heard he took down 32 men in 5 minutes one time.
Bloody battle. Bloody business.
Abraham.
To the gate.
So you get out to the gate, and there's a city guard who's staying out watch. He's nice and filthy, your typical street guard. Kind of a good solid beard. And he's standing there with the spear. You saw the name.
Yeah, I saw the name. I'm writing the name.
Okay. And
he's a town gate guard?
Yeah. It's separate from the castle guard, separate garrison or whatever. Typically not as intelligent. But, I mean, their job is protecting the town, so that's not considered quite as important.
Does he know me? I would know him. Like, we would know each other.
Vaguely. His name's Abraham.
Okay. Abraham, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Emil. I'm sorry, I'm just typing town gate guard. I was curious, are there any caravans expected today?
The Duke is coming.
Well, I know the Duke is coming, but beyond the Duke. I'm looking for goods coming into town.
There's nothing usually shows up today, which you kind of knew. So sometimes there's an exception. The guards might know at the castle gate. Nothing I know of, but he kind of points out, he's like, actually kind of riding up the road right now is Sir Thimric, and he's a scout for the Duke. So he might know, because he would be out front. He might know if there's anything out on the road, out on the King's Highway.
And obviously he's coming right towards us. So.
Well, he's riding towards the gate.
Of course.
He's going to
right. So when he arrives, I'll speak with him. Mm-hmm. What's his name?
Sir Thimric.
Sir Thimric.
And essentially this guy is reputed
Duke's scout.
Yeah. He's a well-respected knight. And he typically shows up first.
How would I address this man? Obviously, I'm going to address him appropriately with the appropriate respect and what have you. I don't mean just in name. I mean also verbally, visually, physically. Like if there is a gesture or whatever I'm going to do.
There is no gesture. You are a peasant. You're beneath him. Mm-hmm. So there's no saluting or anything like that. You just Sir Thimric, and you respectful tones, that sort of thing.
So I assume.
Yeah,
for the sake of Speedy,
and he probably he recognizes you as he's right up because he's met you before.
Okay, he may not. I don't expect him to remember my name, but
he does.
He does. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Sir Thimric, welcome.
Emil, how's it going?
It's a difficult day. I had a question for you that might help me though. On your ride, was there any caravans of travelers coming today?
I did see a caravan. It was there was a I think it was a merchant out in the. I don't think he was coming here. He was out on the King's Highway. He probably isn't very far past here at this point.
Okay,
heading south.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Are there any other resources in town at this point? I mean, have I exhausted the town's resource?
Anything that you would consider giving to the Duke? No. However, you could acquire more house wine probably relatively easily, unless it's all bad in the entirety of the town.
Could a magic user make me super great wine?
Merples can't make something out of nothing as far as you know.
No, I'm saying, but like if I brought him wine, could he improve the quality of it?
Yes, yes, he could.
Yeah?
Yes, he could.
All right. Well, we're going to go that road.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to give that a try.
Sure.
And maybe I can ask him some questions about the other. Would it be...
However, you also know this from your head right now. Unless he knows that there are nobles in town, a lot of times he's out with the local farmers, not in town.
Okay.
So he might or might not be at his shop. His shop could be closed.
Also, I just lost my train of thought. Something about bringing wine to him, or I lost my train of thought. We'll just keep going. I know. Would it be appropriate for me to request of anybody, I don't know who I would ask this, to go grab that merchant and see if he wants to come to town, or go ask him if he's got wine?
The problem is with doing that, if there's a merchant moving south from the town right now, he's already south of you. The more important thing would probably be to catch him first.
Well, my thought is that
because the problem is by the time
I'm on foot.
Yes, but if he has a merchant, he has a caravan. He's not moving faster than you.
Okay, so I could, if I run down the road, I could catch him.
You could probably run and catch him up.
I can't see him.
Or you could probably look at the guy at the gate and say, "I need something to get out there," and the city guards are going to take care of you because you work for the castle.
Okay. All right. Well, then ask that, and then let them know that. Say, what was his name? Abraham.
Mm-hmm.
Abraham, I really need to see if that merchant has any wine that I can buy for the castle. Is there any way that I can? Would I know how to ride a horse?
Not well.
Not well.
But you know that they do have mules and stuff right here.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. I would more expect maybe a mule or something. Could I borrow a mule briefly just to go catch this merchant?
Well, honestly, I can't say there's anything I can see that's wrong with that. So yeah, just go grab the mule.
Thank you so much. So grab a mule and go down the road.
So you start moving out at top speed, which is sort of like
a little faster than
walking, but at least you won't get tired.
Right.
And you actually kind of see
and he'll be able to carry the wine if I.
There's a small caravan, and it's actually promising because there are some cast-like stuff in there.
I obviously I'm going to have money on me, so I hope you're going to grant me that I have some money on me.
You have some money on you, but you also have your position, which is bigger than money.
Really? Okay.
You're the wine steward for. You're going to send them to the castle.
Well, I'm going to say, hey, will you go to the castle?
You're not going to carry this stuff.
Oh, okay. I thought I was just going to go retrieve it. Well, see, again, getting back to my paranoia, if I see good and try good wine, I'm staying with that the whole time. It's not leaving my sight.
I'm not saying there's anything.
Okay. Okay, so do I catch up? And is there a wagon master I need to speak with?
There's actually...
Halt! Wine steward! Stop where you are!
You do see there are some cast, and there's a couple wagons being drawn by mules.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one guy walking with a goat in front of him. Old guy.
So it's only a wagon.
No, there's a couple wagons.
But it's only one man.
One man, which is kind of odd.
There's no one to guard this.
There's no one guarding it, and there's no one actually driving the wagon.
Great. Beat him with a stick. Excuse me, sir.
He stops and the wagons both stop.
My name is Emil. I'm the wine steward for, what's the name of the castle again?
Tarkimi.
I'm the wine master, the wine steward for Tarkimi.
Congratulations.
Can you please bring, I assume you have wine here in the cask?
That's all I have.
May I try some? If it's good quality, I'll have it all sent to the castle.
I don't know if it's really for sale. I promised this down in Saris. I was heading down that way.
Would making it worth your while change the destination of this wine?
I don't really do it for the money, but...
How much could you spare? Would knowing that if it's good quality enough, it will be going right to the Duke change your mind?
No, because that's not really why I'm out. I'm trying to get my goat here married. So
you know how difficult that can be.
I mean, if you can find a good husband for my friend here.
This is a joke on me, isn't it, Jeff? I'm not going to marry a goat.
He didn't say you.
No, I know. I'm saying you, Jeff, is saying this to me. Well, that's how I'm taking it. You're trying to get me married to a goat. It's not happening.
The Elsa here.
Would I have any ideas on who's got livestock that can set this guy up? There's got to be.
There's a goat herder that actually, has pins. Not in this part, but sort of a little bit to the north outside of the town. There's a goat herder.
Okay, so
you're assuming he means married to another goat,
right?
But this is all meant as a dowry for
that. I'm sorry. Michael's a little shocked to this scenario. Is this any way customary?
No.
No, okay.
This guy seems completely nuts.
Okay, all right. Well, if I can guarantee you a groom that is a much shorter walk because Tarkimi is right here, then I see no reason why this dowry can't come here for the Duke. Why don't we go take a look at the goats in town?
All right, fair enough.
I'd like to think that was pretty resourceful and likable right there, and I didn't use any of them, but that was way in character.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What is your name, sir?
I forget.
Does he genuinely forget and say that, or are you doing that? Okay.
That was Jeff saying that.
Okay. So
Marion.
And
this is Elsa. She's a good kid.
That's funny. That's funny. The wine goat guy. That's what I'm going to call him. Okay. Do you mind if I test the quality of the wine?
I don't have a cup.
Do I have anything that I can?
Actually, you have a little tasting thing that a little metal one.
That's it. Okay, fine. So
that's convenient.
Wine steward.
Touche.
Well played, sir. All right, so
set and match.
Is this my solution? Is this how is it?
This is some of the best tasting wine you've ever had.
Really?
Yeah.
This also makes me paranoid.
Yeah, sure.
But it doesn't taste off. It doesn't taste like potentially poisoned.
Well, if it's potentially poisoned, it would be a pleasant way to die.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. But what doesn't make me suspicious is that if I hadn't asked the questions, what is giving me a sense of safe confidence is that if I hadn't gotten to the gate when I did, if I hadn't asked...
The likelihood of bumping into this guy.
Exactly. The likelihood of bumping into this guy was slim to none.
Which is also what makes it suspicious. And you've played with me before.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, the thing is, the character has less reason to be suspicious than the player.
Yes.
I, of course, am suspicious of any conveniency in a game of yours.
It all seems fine.
Does it look clear? I thought you said it was clear. I said it looked clear. Well, how's it look now? Looks clear. It's one of my favorite. You've seen Pitch Black, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so good. Anyway, okay, so we're taking the wine, and it's 2 wagons, 3 wagons? You said?
So actually, we're gonna
fast travel.
Actually, we're gonna wrap it up here.
Oh,
5 minutes.
It's too bad. I'm really enjoying this. Okay,
we will wrap it up here as Michael goes arm in horn with Elsa and Marion into town.
Elsa the goat. And Elsa the goat bride.
And you notice when you said there should be goats in town, that seemed to be his target for the marriage.
Right.
Always the best man, never
always a bridesmaid, never a bride. All right. So things to remember for the following session. We possibly have really great wine to solve our missing wine problem. We still don't know who or why or how wine has been stolen. Hamilton is nowhere to be found. Yoha really seems to have everything under control, even though there's obviously a problem.
Everything's completely collapsing at the same time.
And the Duke is going to be here very soon.
You're not sure how his scout's here. That could mean an hour, maybe
might be
a
half
couple.
A day.
Yeah. Half a day probably is the outside. So
that's
somewhere between,
okay.
He's definitely probably an hour out, maybe half a day out. Beyond that would be way too long.
Yeah. Because he's got to be able to run back if he has to, warn or change or whatever. So
the whole town's burned.
Is there anything else that you want to put as a mental note here for this, or verbal note?
Verbal note. Michael has no reason to be suspicious at all. This is just a common everyday occurrence for a wine steward.
Michael has very many reasons to be, and all of them are just lists off of all of Jeff's old campaigns. Every one of them is a reason to be suspicious.
I'm thinking he's going to marry Elsa. That's his best chance, I think, at this point.
Of survival,
Elsa,
probably, yeah.
Plus Michael.
Emil, E-M-I.
No, Michael.
No, I'm not marrying a goat. I'm already married. That would be polygamy.
I know.
That'd be animal. That'd be bestial polygamy.
Okay. So, no world building task for the day.
No.
Except to go test out your world, have some fun with it, and this is kind of a lighthearted campaign there's some serious stuff that it will pop up at times, but it's meant to be a bit more of a lighthearted campaign.
I'm going to make one real world request task. I would like everyone to say a heartfelt prayer for Jeff and his knee. His knee has been acting up, and there's a chance that you might be considering drastic action. But also a yay, because Jeff and his wife just bought bicycles. So we're hoping that the bicycle and Jeff's physical therapy will help his knee and prevent him from needing more drastic action to be taken.
It's all knee drugs at this point. I'm out of physical therapy. I have a
home physical therapy, like getting on the bike.
Yeah, if I can get lose some weight would help, but it's hard. So we'll either go drastically one way or the other soon. So,
well, I'm going to say a prayer for you and your knee.
Well, thank you very much.
Some places I need to stop.
And as always, make sure to go to gardul.com. That's GARDUL.com for the show notes. It'll be under podcasting, World Builders Anvil. That's a great place to get all of the information from the episode that you've just listened to and to see all the resources that we've talked about in this episode. Thanks for joining us in this episode of the World Builders Anvil. Please be sure to rate and review us in iTunes, and please help get the word out to your friends about our show. And join me, Jeffrey W. Ingram at Gardul.com, to see the progress of my world and learn why I made the choices I did. And please contact me and let me know the topics you would love to hear in the future. Now strike while the myth rolls high.